We're going to play Counter-Strike, and I'm going to go over some of the features and also SOCD and why that is so controversial.
Let's talk a little bit about how Counter-Strike works so you can understand SOCD before we kind of get into this gaming section. And then we can talk about why SOCD is so controversial specifically in this game. Counter-Strike has an interesting thing where you have to be standing still to shoot accurately. If I start moving and shooting, you'll see what happens with my bullets. Kind of go everywhere. It's super inaccurate to do that. What you need to do in Counter-Strike is be able to stop as quick as possible. So if I normally press like A to shift left and I let go, you'll see I coast briefly. Coast very briefly. So what I can do instead is do something called counter-strafing, and this requires some skill, and it's basically where you tap the other direction and it makes you stop quicker. See, I'm stopping very immediately. And when you stop immediately, that means you can then shoot accurately immediately. I think it can be seen a lot as well with the deagle, where people will strafe back and forth, but then when they want to shoot at something, they just will counter-strafe. Because of this skill it takes to counter-strafe, SOCD came in and made it a little bit easier. I can enable it on my keyboard here like I showed before. So now with SOCD enabled, I actually don't have to let go of the other direction. I can just tap the counter-strafe direction. If I hold D and tap A, you'll see I come to that immediate stop right when I tap. So if I combine that with shooting, I can just hold one direction, tap, and shoot at the same time. Obviously, people don't like this because it takes some of the skill away from the game. So in response, Valve made their servers able to detect if SOCD is enabled, basically by detecting perfect counter-strafes. And with that, it will kick you from games. So let's go ahead and get ourselves kicked from a game. So we're gonna just do deathmatch on Dust 2. To be honest, I really don't like playing with SOCD. It just feels weird. And there you go, kicked for input automation. So that is why for Counter-Strike, I make sure to keep my SOCD